need a spade to dig a pit. Similarly, we need humility to reach the depths of our hearts.
Love should spring from our hearts as water springs out from a well.
As we read through the pages of a book, if we can go through the layers of our minds, we will experience an intense yearning to attain self-knowledge.
Disease takes birth in the mind and spreads to the body.
The mind should be soft but not frail.
As rice is churned in a flour mill to get rice flour, if we repeatedly contemplate the words of jnanas or liberated souls, the impurities of the mind vanish, and the mind gets purified.
As a pregnant woman protects the child within her womb, we must carefully protect the good qualities within us.
You may feel peaceful when you worship idols, but this peace does not originate from idol worship. Your mind becomes concentrated, and peace emanates from your heart alone.
Self is the birthplace of the mind, whereas the brain is the in-law's place for the mind.
Insults rectify the faults within your mind and thereby reduce your ego.
We have learned to read books but have yet to learn to read the book called mind.
The intellect or reason of the drunkards resembles a blunt blade. They may take birth for any number of times. Still, their mind will never turn towards God.
The mind will not have any wavering if you have complete trust in the existence of God.
We consume castor oil to eliminate body impurities. Similarly, we need God's grace and Guru's grace to eliminate mind impurities.
The minds of the people who are forbearing hardships get introverted very quickly.
If you cautiously utilize your body, mind, and words, they will help you attain jnana or self-knowledge.
Merit and demerit are within the ambit of mind only. They cannot touch those who have transcended the mind.
Solitude implies staying alone and concentrating on God. Staying near the self constitutes true fasting.
The mind is as false as the body. He is only a Mahatma who has conquered the mind.
The self-enquiry of who am I resembles the restrainer of an elephant in regulating the mind.
It is not your house, children, or body that hinders attaining self-realization. It is the mind that does so.
Any amount of book reading is fruitless if you don't possess mental health.
Though we are chanting the names of Rama and Krishna, our mind is still within the ambit of nature.
If your mind is peaceful, the same is reflected in your home and society.
As your body requires food to sustain, even your mind needs the words of God.
The self always keeps waiting for the mind to turn towards it.
When the impurities of the mind vanish, one becomes purified.
Many things are hidden within our heart, unimaginable by the brain and inexpressible by the mouth.
The faults of the mind will not vanish until and unless one attains equanimity.
Vain thoughts and vain words breed a great pain to the mind.
Devotion towards God is related to the heart alone.
As you have some space for God's photos within your house, allocate some place for God within your heart.
The Vishnu Sahasranamam, or the 1,000 names of Vishnu, describes God's qualities. Reading it automatically controls the senses and the mind even without our knowledge.
Compassionate hearts conquer the divine.
Until and unless the mind is introverted, God cannot be realized or experienced.
We must never search for God externally. We must search for Him only in the depths of our hearts.
When we consider our sorrows transient, they subside. Similarly, if we consider happiness temporary, the mind's delight reduces.
If you withdraw your mind from the impure environment, liberation will stand at your doorstep. We must ensure that the mind remains unaffected by external circumstances.
Liberation embodies the highest form of happiness. Even a small remnant of a tendency constitutes an obstacle to our liberation.
Sattvic food fetches sattvic quality. Sattvic quality brings devotion. Devotion fetches jnana, which in turn brings liberation.
If we are egoless and attentive when performing any work, it will be completed very soon without any hardships. Desireless work leads to liberation.
If we serve the elders, God bestows us with the intellect or reasoning faculty that makes us eligible for liberation.
The true goddess of wealth is liberation alone, not currency notes.
We preserve our clothes with the utmost care. The currency notes with more excellent care than the clothes, and our health with much more excellent care than the currency notes. But are we taking any care to obtain liberation?
No one should ever think that liberation is something to be achieved after death. The deserving can attain liberation, here and now on this earth.
Listening to good words makes the intellect subtle. Practicing the same brings about liberation.
Liberation is nothing but attaining the sorrowless state.
We should not pray to God desiring external things but should only ask Him to bestow us with the eligibility to attain liberation.
Even devotion is a good tendency.
When the fruit is not yet ripened, its seeds remain tender. Similarly, when devotion is acquired in childhood, desires and tendencies do not strengthen. The seeds within the fruit become hard and strong when the fruit ripens. Similarly, when we reach old age, our desires and tendencies also strengthen. That is why we should practice devotion to God from childhood itself.
Do not decorate your ego in the name of devotion.
Devotion is our own property. We may earn any money, but it is limited to this birth alone. However, devotion accompanies us in every birth.
Secrets may exist between two individuals, but no secrets can exist between God and His devotee.
As mother is affectionate towards her children, even God is affectionate towards His devotees.
Devotees are our actual relatives.
We should not enhance our ego in the name of devotion.
Keep your devotion very confidential.
Dust may accidentally fall upon us while walking on the road. Similarly, a devotee may attain worldwide fame.
Do not differentiate between work and worship. We should do our daily work with humility and devotion, just as we do our daily worship.
లోకాలనీలే శివాత్మగా లోకాలనీలే శివాత్మగా రామావతారమే దివ్యాత్మగా, రామావతారమే దివ్యాత్మగా, కృష్ణావతారమే పరమాత్మగా, కృష్ణావతారమే పరమాత్మగా, వెలచావు ఇళ్ళలో రమణాత్మగా, వెలచావు ఇళ్ళలో రమణాత్మగా, శరణములే శరణముగా, శరణములే శరణముగా, పూజించరండి శ్రీనాన్నరమణుని, పూజించరండి శ్రీనాన్నరమణుని, శరణములే శరణముగా, శరణములే శరణముగా. భువిలోన నీవే దైవానిగా, భువిలోన నీవే దైవానిగా, పాపాలు బ్రోచే పరమాత్మగా, పాపాలు బ్రోచే పరమాత్మగా, శ్రీనాన్న నీవే గురు బ్రహ్మగా, శ్రీనాన్న నీవే గురు బ్రహ్మగా, వెలిగించు మాలో జ్ఞానాత్మవై, వెలిగించు మాలో జ్ఞానాత్మవై, శరణములే శరణముగా, శరణములే శరణముగా, పూజించరండి శ్రీనాన్నరమణుని, పూజించరండి శ్రీనాన్నరమణుని, శరణములే శరణముగా, శరణములే